It covers 300 years, and the beginning is in 1693. We are not in Leitrim County. We are in a little settlement on the Saint Laurent in Quebec, 1693. Trépanier. In twilight, they passed bloody Tadoussac, Quebec, and Trois-Rivières, and near dawn moored at a remote riverbank settlement. René Sel's stiff black hair, slanted eyes, in ancient times invading Huns had been at his people, heard someone say, Wobec. Mosquitoes covered their hands and necks like fur. A man with yellow eyebrows pointed them at a rain-dark house. Mud, rain, biting insects, and the odor of willows made the first impression of New France. The second impression was of dark, vast forest, inimical wilderness. The newcomers, standing in the rain, waiting to be called to make their marks in a great ledger, saw the farmers clumped under a sheltering spruce. The farmers stared at them and exchanged comments. At last, his turn, René made not only an X, but the letter R, marred by a spatter of ink from the quill, a letter which he had learned in childhood from the old priest, who said it was the beginning of René, his name, but the priest had died of winter starvation before he could teach him the succeeding letters. Yellow Eyebrows regarded the R. Quite the learned fellow, eh? He said. He bawled out, Monsieur Claude Trépanier, and René's new master, a shambling, muscular man, beckoned him forward. He carried a heavy stick like a cudgel. Drops of rain caught in the wool of his knitted cap. Thick brows couldn't shadow his glaring eyes. The whites, so white and flashing, they falsely indicated a vivacious nature. Wait a little, he said to René. The damp sky sagged downward. They waited. Yellow Eyebrows, the deputy, whom his new master called Monsieur Bouchard, again bawled, Monsieur Trépanier, who this time fetched a familiar, Charles Duquet, a scrawny engagé from the ship, a weakling from the Paris slums, who during the voyage often folded up in the corner like a broken stick. So, thought René, Monsieur Trépanier had taken 2 servants. Perhaps he was wealthy, although his sodden cloak was tattered. Monsieur Trépanier tramped up the muddy path toward the line of black mist. He did not so much he did not so much walk as hurl himself along on his varied legs, one limber, one stiff. He said, Allons-y. They plunged into the gloomy country, dense hardwood forest broken by stands of pine. René did not dare ask what services he would be performing. After years of manly labor chopping trees in the Morvan highlands, he did not want to be a house servant. In a few hours, the sodden leaf mold gave way to pine duff. The air was intensely aromatic. Fallen needles muted their passage. The interlaced branches absorbed their panting breaths. Here grew hugeous trees of a size not seen in the old country for hundreds of years, evergreens taller than cathedrals, cloud-piercing spruce and hemlock. The monstrous deciduous trees stood distant from each other, but overhead their leaf-choked branches merged into a false sky, dark and savage. Achille, his older brother, would have gaped at New France's trees. Late in the day, they passed by a slope filled with shining white trunks. These, said Monsieur Trépanier, were Beauloups Blancs, and the Sauvages made houses and boats from the bark. René did not believe this. The big trees made him think again of Achille, le flotteur, who had spent his brief years plunging in and out of the cold young, guiding logs down the river. He had been powerful, immune to the water's chill, had worked until a log with a broken limb sharpened and polished to a spear by the friction of the current had pierced his bladder, carrying him along like a gobbet of meat on a spit. René now wore his brother's underwear and wool trousers and his short coat. He wore shoes, sabots, though a barefoot life had given him calloused feet, tough as cow hoofs, hardened against French cold. In this new world, he would learn the cold was of a different order. If we could stop there.
But earlier today we launched 2 books relating to the work of the late Dermot Healy, his collected plays and Reading the Sky essays about Dermot, pieces about Dermot, and you knew Dermot, and you have a review in that book. Tell us a little about Dermot as you knew him.
I think, well, I haven't met anyone who knew Dermot who didn't know that they were in the presence of someone tremendous and rare. He was a first-class, multiple-starred talent, a wonderful, wonderful writer. You are so, so lucky to have had this man writing about this place. He's one of the great writers of the past century. So yeah, I was very happy to write something in a review. I especially liked Sudden Times. I know Goat's Song is his great book, and I loved that too, but something about Sudden Times just really moved me. The bitterness, the London scenes, the growing sense of doom about the thing that had happened and you didn't know what it was, and the evil and dreadful thing that lurked through the streets of London in the nighttime. A machine that sprinkled broken glass all along the way. And you could see it in the morning, and you can still see it, bits of glass, broken glass, all through the streets, because the machine that sprinkles it has been through at night. And so is it Ollie? Yeah, part of the protagonist's bad dreams are concerned with this broken glass machine. Once I got that in my head, I couldn't stop. Every city I've been in has got one, I'm sure of it. So